I've taken a ton of sales calls for 100K sports coach recently, and there's 4 types of coaches who are coming to me. Let me break down who they are, what they struggle with, and what they need to do. Let's jump in. Okay, so when we look at these coaches, first, there's the actual this person is actually world class. They've been coaching for a long time. They're a little bit older. They have a really impressive track record. They're actually an expert coach. Second, we have the recent college grad. I've had a few of these guys, and these guys really crush because they're hungry. They understand social media. They're quick learners. They're good at tech. Oftentimes, they're really good at learning so they can actually go and implement things really quickly. These guys are a lot of fun to work with because they move fast. The third person is a really good high school coach, but they are ready to get out of high school coaching because it takes a ton of time. They don't get paid very much. They have to deal with parents and admin and all this kind of stuff. And the idea of coaching the actual sport that they love and being able to make more money, not be tied to school and games and all that kind of stuff is really appealing to them. And finally, this fourth person is just an average coach. I don't say average in a demeaning way. I just say average, and they don't really fit into these other 3 categories. They're not necessarily like a super well-renowned expert coach that has coached at the professional or collegiate level. They're not a recent college grad. They're not a high school coach. They're just like an average coach. So here are the challenges that I'm seeing all of these guys run into. First is a content challenge. When it comes to these guys, the expert coach, these guys are a big old X. Typically, they really struggle with content. Recent college grad, they're okay. I'll give them a check. They oftentimes need help with the strategy of content, which we'll get to in a second. These guys are typically pretty good. The average high school coach, also X. Average coach, also X. Okay, so content is a big limiter for a lot of these coaches. And if you want to coach online, you have to figure out content. If not, then just coach in person. And that's fine. But if you want to unlock the online coaching, you have to be online, which means making content. So that's a really big piece. When it comes to the actual business side, almost all of these, again, struggle. And I'm talking specifically an online business side. I talked to a really cool volleyball coach today who is really well renowned, known in the space, probably one of the best at actually coaching. But he said earlier, when you were outlining what my coaching program would look like, the ball was in my territory. I felt comfortable there. As we get into all this business stuff, it's a little scary, which is totally normal if you haven't done it. But just if you had a new kid learning your sport, yeah, it's going to be a little scary, but there's a path and you can actually learn this stuff really quickly when you do the right things, you get the right feedback, and you actually work on it. So we'll cover some more business breakdown stuff here. And third, I'm going to put skill. Okay. And skill, expert coach, obviously, they're very good at this. Recent college grad, this can be a question mark. They could be a good coach, they could not be a good coach. A lot of times these guys aren't as good yet, but they can be good too. High school coach, these guys, I would say generally there's a check. And an average coach, I would say, depending on the person, it really depends, right? Because ultimately, we need to be really good at coaching online. If you can't master a skill, like if you don't have a proven process that you can replicate over and over with a person or with an athlete in person, then there's no way that you're going to be able to do that online when it's asynchronous, right? So if this is you and you're struggling with the skill, then go do it in person, get the system down, get the reps down, then see if you can do it through a screen. Do it on a live Zoom call so you can coach them and give them feedback, because oftentimes when you're in person, it's like, hey, do this, not this. And you don't actually know how to explain. You need to get your elbow underneath your ball when you shoot in order to shoot straight. Otherwise, you're going to be constantly missing. And you know how to show it with your body, but you don't know how to explain it with your words. That's going to be something that you need to work on if you want to coach online. Okay, so once we have this breakdown, that leads us to, okay, what do we do? Well, there's a few different big skill sets that all of these people need to learn. One, they need to learn the content skill set. So that's really important. 2, they need to learn a business set. And 3, they need to learn a coaching skill set. So when it comes to content, you want to be problem focused. And the only way that you can be problem focused is if you have your business. And so with your business, what we need is we need a niche, we need an offer, and then ultimately we need our program. I personally really like a 4-week program because it's short enough that people can commit to it. It's long enough that you can actually get them a really specific result. So if you book a call with me, this is what I am currently helping you build for free on the calls. This is what the business model would look like. You would have content, so free content that would go to checklists, which would go to a challenge email sequence, which would go to a course, which would go into coaching. This could be anywhere from $5 up to $99, up to even more. And then coaching for a program, I would probably want you to get to $400, right? You might not start there. You might start for free in order to get your testimonials, but this is a really simple business model that you can immediately do. This is what I'm helping my clients actively implement. I run all of this through Kajabi, which is a software. If you want help with that, if you want a free trial, you can get it at angebourgeois.com/Kajabi. Okay. So basically, the content, this lives on social. The checklist, this is a lead magnet. And so basically, what a lead magnet is, if you're not sure, is a lead magnet is a landing page. And it says, get the checklist with a button and say, it won't say yes, but for just this example, it says yes. After that, it takes you to another page. So this is an opt-in or a lead magnet. After that, it takes you to this page, which is a thank you page. That says congrats, and then basically says, hey, sometimes it takes a second to actually send this thing to your email. So while you're here, I have a video for you. Take a look. And by the way, here's an offer to book a call with me. And then eventually, here's an offer for a low ticket course that's discounted. It's normally $50, but today, right now, since you just opted in, you can get it for $10 at 80% off. So that's what the business model looks like. A lot of people really struggle with this. Basically, we need to figure out what this is, and then we want everything to be in line. A big mistake that I see a lot of people make is they make content in this area, then they have a lead magnet in this area, and then their coaching is over in this area. What you want is instead content, I'm going to say checklist as a lead magnet, course, and then coaching all in one area where you become the best in the world at this one topic, because that's how you really grow. So you want alignment along whatever it is. And the way that we figure out what our alignment is by looking at our niche in our offer in our program. So with that being said, then when we come back to here, our problem focused content, guess what? Comes right back down to the problems of our niche in our offer in our program. Okay. And then in terms of coaching and skill, a lot of times you guys are great coaches. Coaching online is a little bit more challenging because you got to be really good with your words. And then you just got to know how to use video reviews. When it comes to a good video review, one of the things that I like to do, I always like to start with their name. Pretty standard, but always good to really master the basics, right? Start with the name, call out good or improvements. And when we actually give correction, I like to say, see how blank. Instead, we want to blank. For me, for a catcher, when they're blocking, I would draw a line, say they're not getting their glove outside of their body when they need to block. I would say, see how your glove is inside of your body, draw a line where the shoulder is. Instead, we want to get our glove outside of the body and our arms to extend like toothpicks. So get toothpicks outside of your body and then catch your body up to the glove. That's how I would explain it. So all that being said, here are the 4 people that I've been working with. It's pretty fun to try to figure out, how do I help all these people get better faster? And I'm excited to see what they do. So thanks for watching. If you want help, you can book a call with me using the link right down below, or you can also check out the checklist in the book where there's more free resources helping you build your sports coaching business online. And if you like this video, then you probably want to check out this video right up over here.